Starbucks co-founder Howard Schultz grew up in poverty in Brooklyn, New York. He heard the word no much more than yes. But that never stopped him from creating the world's 5th largest food chain, and he is now one of the richest people in the world with a fortune of $5.2 billion in 2021. Howard Schultz was born on July 19, 1953, into a poor family. Money was their issue, as his mother was a receptionist and his father a World War II veteran, working as a clothing delivery driver. They had no university education. But they worked hard for the family and loved their work. Howard Schultz did not know if they had ever been able to enjoy life. Breaking his father's ankle while working put them in a difficult situation. Not having enough money, medical bills, they just spent the day. It is really hard to see hard-working people trying to survive. The founder of Starbucks promised himself that he would try not to let this happen to anyone else. Most people start their first job at the age of 18, but Howard Schultz started his first job when he was 12 years old. He sold newspapers and worked in cafes. His childhood was not much like any other, except for sports. He was not a GPA or a great student, but he was really good at American football because it was a way for Howard to escape his world and what he really is. He had the skill to enjoy. His efforts paid off, and Schultz was awarded a football scholarship to the University of Northern Michigan, where he became the first member of the family to go to university. He knew he could not be a professional footballer, but always wanted to be educated, eventually succeeding in graduating from university. The Starbucks manager tried many jobs, and I was determined to succeed. At the age of 26, he became the vice president of sales for a Swedish home appliance company. But Howard Schultz did not feel happy, joyful, and fulfilled until he visited a shop that ordered a lot from one of their products, a drip coffee maker. At the time, the shop's owners were selling coffee beans, tea, spices, and coffee makers. He felt their passion and love for this simple bean, coffee. Recall that it was in 1981 that coffee was introduced as an instant beverage during a business day. He felt it belonged to him. Howard Schultz fell in love with their creativity and passion for something that was overlooked. He contacted them for a year, asked questions, visited them and asked them to let him join their team, and finally, after a year of follow-up, he became their marketing manager. Howard Schultz went on a business trip to Milan a year after starting work, and what he saw there was something completely different from the way coffee was brewed in the United States. People sat and enjoyed their drinks, and coffee was more than just a drink. It was kind of a way of communicating. A place where people would go to see each other, talk and have a good coffee. The founder of Starbucks thought to himself that this is what they need and felt successful for the second time. He told shopkeepers about his idea, but they wanted to continue their business, selling bulk goods, not single drinks. He was not upset with them, because the Americans at that time did not even know what latte was. In Howard Schultz's biography we come to the point where he decided to start his own coffee shop, and the main issue was to raise $1.6 million in 1 year. He talked to 242 people and 217 people said no, meaning 90% said no. They told him that it was useless and not worth the investment and that there was no profit in it. At first he became discouraged and he even questioned his idea. But the founder of Starbucks grew up in poverty, and he was not affected by the multi-million-dollar profits. He was influenced by his dreams to become a reality. Howard could not raise the full $1.6 million, but received the amount needed to open his first store, Il Giornale. He made many mistakes in running his first store, but I learned very quickly and assembled myself until they sold $500,000 a year. Howard Schultz was one step closer to his goal, but something was still missing. Remember the store he had to leave and work for? Soon, the owners decided to sell their business. He had a deep connection with that shop and could not leave it. So in 1987, 6 stores bought them for $3.8 million. And he merged his shops with those 6 stores and became the CEO of Starbucks Coffee Company. You heard right, the Starbucks was the first coffee shop that Howard Schultz worked on and eventually bought. Although he was not the Starbucks you know today. Over the years, he was able to turn it into the beverage store he had always imagined, which many said was a vague, inefficient, and harmful idea. Starbucks has grown to become more of a place for coffee drinks, a place to study, meet friends and relax. There are currently more than 26,736 Starbucks stores in more than 75 countries with more than 300,000 employees. But this is not where Howard Schultz's success lies. He was successful when he was able to allocate shares, free medical care, dental care, retirement insurance, adoption assistance, and university tuition to any Starbucks employee or member. His father died before he could see his success. But he thinks Howard was proud to see Starbucks provide benefits to the hard-working class that he was unable to take advantage of. He was not the original founder of Starbucks. But his goal was to establish a relationship between man and coffee, and turn it into the Starbucks you know today. Most importantly, he dreamed of building a company that his father had never been able to work for. A company that treats its employees the way their father and family wanted them to be treated. His goal was never so much money, profit or wealth, but the people he wanted to help. This was the success of Howard Schultz, and this is his greatest achievement. Howard Schultz has grown from poverty to wealth, making Starbucks one of the most famous brands in the world.